Welder family has been operating and ranching since the 1830s. Plymouth Field was discovered on Easter Sunday, 1935. We're breathing new life into an old field. We've really learned that this is an exercise in fluid management. Your success or failure is boiled down to how you manage fluid. And the more fluid you produce, the more oil you can sell. The entire fluid stream comes up the wellbore and it's being brought to the surface via a big pumping unit, and it's pulling all that fluid up. Then it is piped down a 4-inch line to the rail car, separation vessel. Gravity and the relative weights of the components separate itself. The gas is taken off the top and sold into a gas pipeline, and then the oil is taken out the side and goes to the oil tanks to be picked up by the trucks, and then the water is at the bottom. The Railroad Commission, the regulatory agency overseeing oil and gas exploration and production in Texas, enacted a rule that no longer allowed oil companies to discharge of salt water down the creeks and rivers and into ultimately the bays and Gulf of Mexico. But for decades, that practice occurred. What we're doing today is we're re-injecting the produced salt water back into the same formation and thereby maintaining the reservoir pressure to an extent that we can produce more oil. The fluid stream, the water, never thinks it left the earth because it never touches the atmosphere. So you reduce almost entirely the need to treat the fluid with chemicals. The recurring costs are radically reduced by the closed loop system. It's also very environmentally benign. We sell the natural gas. It's not a big part of what this effort is, but it is another part of the revenue stream. We're not spending any money for electricity. The energy source for these pumping units is the natural gas that we produce from these wells. One thing we will never worry about is being able to sell our product, because natural gas demand continues to increase. I'm focused on oil, but natural gas is a very nice addition to the revenue stream. It's essentially farming. We've taken exploration out of exploration and production. There are no less than 5 horizons from which we can produce oil. From the lessons learned and the skill sets honed in phase 1, we can accelerate the development of phase 2 and phase 3. So phase 2 and phase 3 are the same number of wells. It's 9 producing oil wells, 3 disposal wells. So 12 wells total, but only 9 producers, both phase 2 and phase 3. Phase 2 we think we can get accomplished in 45 to 60 days. We expect to bring phase 2 to sales by September 1st and phase 3 by November 1st. It's roughly, depending on pricing, a 7 to 12 month payout for an investment that will last 30 to 40 years. We're not drilling shale wells. We're not spending $5 to $7 million on one well. We are close to refineries. We have ready access to natural gas markets. As soon as we started making discoveries, I quietly began accumulating offset acreage of leasehold. The vast majority has been obtained, and we're ready to start immediately.